Also, the 20th degree is associated with Scorpio, so a definite Scorpio vibe going on here. Scorpio, if you're here just for the universal truths and symbolism, not necessarily astrology, Scorpio encourages transformation, and it will deep dive to do so, and it breaks through exteriors that you just think you couldn't do, but it does. Hello, welcome back as we continue taking a deep dive into the degrees of astrology. We're taking a look at universal truths, symbolism, psychological profiling, and the complementary gemstones for each degree. There are 360. We're taking a look at 2 each time. Today we are on Sagittarius Gemini 20. Thanks for being here. Without further ado, let's take a look at Gemini. A modern cafeteria displays an abundance of food products of various regions. Night in a museum. Shadows seem to be moving in the paintings. An immense buffet of foodstuffs prepared with exotic and magical herbs. A bull stung by a scorpion. And the more one looks into a fish bowl, the more it appears to be a veritable sea teeming with life. We are looking at a metal today here for Gemini 20. It is tin. It brings health, wealth, and affluence. It is associated with sexuality or the sacral chakra. Often used in alloys. It helps blend with other metals to make something new. It resists weather and corrosion. It is particularly rejuvenating and regenerating for the body. It is sometimes called a bactericide, which it kills bacteria, associated with Jupiter, lightning bolts, making tin bells and bowls meant to be used for healing. Also used to attract the things you desire most. The 20th degree is the fullness of the sign. So we're looking at an abundance here with Gemini and with Sag. This cafeteria can be likened to the internet, so it is like a worldwide option of choices. So there is a wealth of information, but there also can be a wealth of things that we don't need, or an overload of things that we need, but if we overdo it, then we have imbalance. So this is an area where you want to have discernment with the things that you choose. It also can be associated with global trade, like when people wanted exotic spices and then they started to travel and bring it from different regions through the sea, and then they ended up learning what other cultures were about, and then they wanted to incorporate those cultures into their own. And so it's a chain reaction based on a veritable feast of options, mental options as well as physical options. With the shadows moving in paintings, this is letting us know that things are not permanent. Even if a painting looks permanent, that there's a malleability here. There's a transformational quality. So the bull being stung by the scorpion, a bull is fixed, solid, strong, the idea of strength and stubbornness. But here, when it is stung by the scorpion, it breaks apart and it transforms. So here, the calling is to embrace transformation, to allow the coming together and the synthesizing of all the pieces and parts so that we can feel whole, not just one part, but all of it. Embracing letting go of old patterns and hanging on to quote-unquote crutches that we no longer need, like, glasses with no lenses in them. We let those go. We become rejuvenated, regenerated. So there's a sense of Scorpio here, and there's a definite fullness, a host of choices. There's also the possibility of overdoing it here. The tin speaks to that, where there's need for a bactericide. So you want to keep your mind pure, you want to keep your mind in a positive bent. It can pull things together in a beautiful way, or you can overdo it and end up with a problem. Looks like those are the options here. I think there's also a possible ability to have a slippery slope where everything looks good, and so you just want more and more and more. So it will be easy to overdo it here. A definite need to be discerning. Let's take a look at Sagittarius. In winter, people are cutting ice from a frozen pond for summer use. The changing of water into wine. A clear yellow gem fallen from heaven. A man attempting to make robots that are ever more complicated. Through a wall of ice, a crystal city sparkles in the sunlight. The stone here is blue topaz. It contributes to good health. It aids with issues with the throat and head. It instantly shifts migraine pressure. It is a gentle stress reliever for jaw clenching. It soothes sore throats. It elevates any psychic gifts that you have. It protects travelers, improves communication. It gives inner peace and mental stability. Also, the 20th degree is associated with Scorpio, so a definite Scorpio vibe going on here. Scorpio encourages transformation, and it will deep dive to do so, and it breaks through exteriors that you just think you couldn't do, but it does. It gets through. So that's what Scorpio's about, but also a fullness here. Here, we're planning for the future. We're looking ahead and saying, hey, I've got the ice, and let's do a little bit of work, a little bit of planning, and we will have it when we need it most in the summer. So this is a nod to, again, Sagittarius is shooting the bow and arrow into the future. That's what Sagittarius is. And we are looking to the summer. How do we make our summer more enjoyable? We do it by taking advantage of what's here now and putting it aside for summer use. There's a crystal clarity going on here. So the clear yellow gem fallen from heaven. So manna from heaven, gifts and miracles are happening here. And ice, so a crystalline theme happening with this particular degree. Changing water into wine and seeing the everyday in a new way, imbuing it with the divine, brings about manna from heaven. It brings about crystal clarity. Staying in tune with the divine aspects of ourselves. We gain crystal clarity, we gain a synthesis of all that we are, and life becomes simpler, life becomes more integral, more full. The water into wine. There's an ability here not to be influenced by what others think or what is traditional or the accepted way of doing things. This person is an individual here. Self-assurance born of contact with the divine. Secure in who we are and the gifts that we have and the fullness that we know we are, because we have continually touched base with our divine aspects. We're more able to glean gifts from other people. So each contact that we make, everything that we do is richer and fuller, and life becomes more beautiful. I'm going to wrap it up with this to touch back with Gemini. The cafeteria with an abundance of choices. We are the cafeteria. We have all those options within us. And to accept that about ourselves is to say the richness that I desire is within me, and allowing whatever layer that happens to be within us to come out and play whenever it wants to. And it gives us a richness. Instead of searching outwardly, we understand that we have only got to pull from within. Like a card catalog in a library, we have only but to say, bring me this, and there it is, but it comes from within. So we're the exotic, magical, mystical fruit and the cafeteria of choices. We are that. The more we look, the more we see. The fishbowl where, it seems to be like a sea. The whole in the one and the one in the whole. It's looking back and forth at both perspectives. We are all of that. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you very, very much for being here, for giving me a like if you're enjoying this. Subscribe for more. Leave a comment if you would like to add to what you think about these symbols. And until next time, take care.